Welcome back to the channel. Well, take a look at this folding e-bike here. It's from Engwe. It's called the L20 2.0 version. There are many things to go over. We're going to run it through a bunch of testing. Interested? Well, let's get into it. When it came to the assembly of this bike, all of it was pretty easy, except when I came to this front fender part right here. For me, I felt like the bolt was a little bit too short, and I had to add a longer bolt to make it correct. Now, the L20 is going to come to you as a Class 3 e-bike, which means we should reach 28 miles an hour via this half-twist throttle here on your right-hand side, your cadence sensor down below, and your 5 levels of pedal assist. This bike weighs 69 pounds and has a maximum payload capacity of 264 pounds. And during the making of this video, well, you can purchase this bike for $799, and it comes with a 1-year warranty. It only comes in a step-through version that you see right here. And Engwe says that the L20's average rider height is between 5'4" to 6'2". It also comes in 3 colors. You can get it in onyx black, rose pink, and this sea green version that I have right here. Now, Engwe says that the L20 will do 28 miles using throttle only, or you can go up to 84 miles using pedal assist. Now, that's going to be with a very light rider, staying in pedal assist number 1, no wind, no hills, all of that. Well, if you've seen any of my videos, I'm going to do the exact opposite. I'm going to hit hills, we're going to hit sand, I'm going to go pretty fast for a while, we're going to do brake tests, we're going to do all of that, so I know that we're not going to get anywhere near that mileage today. The L20 has a 52-volt, 750-watt brushless rear hub motor. It has a peak of 1,125 watts and 75 Newton meters of torque. It has a 7-speed transmission, a Shimano tourney derailleur, a derailleur guard, and the standard Shimano 7-speed thumb shifter. For stopping power, you have non-branded mechanical brakes and 180 millimeter rotors. The front forks are spring-loaded. They have 40 millimeters of travel. You can preload the settings and you can lock it out. The tires are by WD. They are 20 by 3 inch. They have a medium off-road pattern and they're puncture resistant. As you can see, the battery is right underneath your seat. It is a 52 volt, 13 amp hours with 676 watt hours of power. You can charge it up while it's on the bike with this charging port right here, or you can remove it and charge it indoors. It's going to come with a 2 amp hour battery. That means you can charge this bike from 0 to 100% in approximately 6.5 hours. To remove the battery, use one of your 2 keys. Right here, let's go ahead and lift up your seat and get that out of the way. There's a little lever right there. Then we're going to take this, we're going to unhook it, and then you can just use this handle and pull it out. To put it back in, we're just going to reverse the process, put your key in, and lock it into place. This is one of those bikes where you do need the key on and the battery in the on position for the bike to work. The Engwe L20 2.0 has an IPX rating of 4, which means it can handle splashes from any direction, and it also has the UL 2849 certification. Since this is a folding e-bike, let me show you how to do that. Now, when it's unfolded, it is 66.9 inches long, and it's very simple to fold down. We're just going to lift this tab up here, pull out this lever, and now we can lower our handlebar and stem. Then we're just going to reach down here, open this tab for the frame and unlock it, and then just bring the bike back upon itself. Yeah. It will rest on a little stand down here at the bottom. When folded, the bike is 40 inches long, 31.5 inches tall, and 17.7 inches wide. Additional features include metal fenders, folding pedals, a suspension seat post with a quick release clamp, a nicely padded seat, a rear rack that can hold up to 55 pounds, and a telescopic stem. Let's talk about size and fit. Now, it's already set up down here for your lowest rider. You do have the space here for your suspension seat post. So this is at its lowest setting. Your handlebars are at its lowest setting. So that's what it's going to look like for your shortest rider. Now, when it comes to your tallest one, well, there are numbers here on the back of the seat post, which is helpful. So we're going to lock that. And then there's also numbers on the front of your stem here. And we're going to lock that in. And that is your positioning for your highest rider, which is pretty tall, I think. So we're going to go ahead and put this thing and set it up for me. I do like to have it all the way down for now. I'll probably raise that up a little bit later, but I'm 225 pounds, 5'9", 32-inch inseam, and this is what I'm going to look like riding the bike. And I can tell that this suspension seat post is going to work well. Cockpit Operations. On your left-hand side, you have a medium type rubber grip. It does have a palm rest here for you. This is your front brake lever. Right here is a bell that is connected. Makes it super easy to use. I like it when a bell is right here. And then this is your control panel. To turn this bike on, we have to make sure that the key is turned on at the battery first. Then we can hit this button right here and it turns on your display. As you can see, it is a beautiful color screen. You have your battery indicator right here, your miles per hour, your pedal assist level that you're in, and your various information down here. To bounce between trip and other things like that, you're going to hit this top button right here. It's going to show you your overall odometer, your max speed, your average speed, and then it goes back to trip. To go through your pedal assist levels, you're just going to hit the plus button here, and as you can see, it's bouncing through the levels all the way 1 to 5, and then you're just going to hit the minus button to put it all the way back down to 0. This means you have 0 assist coming to the bike. To turn on your headlight, you're just going to hit that button real quick, and that turns on your headlight. As you can see, the screen dimmed, and a headlight indicator showed up right here. To turn that headlight off, you're just going to hit the button again. This headlight is a smaller type headlight, and it has a medium beam that is coming out of it. It seems bright in the daytime, but not sure how big of an impact it would have at night. When the headlight is on, so is your tail light, and then whenever you hit the brakes, it brightens up. This is what it looks like when your headlight is not on and you hit the brakes. To reset the trip mileage, we're going to bounce into plus and minus here. Hold it. You're going to get our TC menu. We're going to move from that one, and it wants to know TC no. Well, we want to switch it to yes, and then we're going to hold that button again, and as you can see, our trip mileage just went to 0. On your right-hand side, you have your half twist throttle right here. This is your rear brake lever, and this is your thumb shifter. To work it, you just click that to put it up in gear, and then you use your thumb to push the lever to take it down in gear. Now it is time for my favorite part, where we get out on the road and see how it does. All right, guys, we are out here riding on the 606 here in Chicago. What an excellent day for a bike review, because it's only going to be about 76 degrees. It feels excellent. There is a nice breeze going. We have it in pedal assist 0 at the moment, which means we're not getting any assist to the pedals. We're just cruising along, and we're doing it at 10 miles an hour. Now, in case you're wondering, the tires can be inflated up to 45 PSI, and we are rocking 40 PSI today because I would like a little bit of cushion in the tires. Let's go ahead and test out the throttle controls. I want to see if it's connected to the pedal assist level. So we're just going to give it some gas. We have it in pedal assist number 1. We're going to see if it's no. I can tell that it is not restricted by whatever pedal assist level you're in, but what is it restricted to? All right, so it looks like throttle only is going to have you going 21 miles an hour, and that's when it will lock out. So no matter what pedal assist level you're in, 21 miles an hour is going to be the max via throttle only. Now let's go ahead and check out the pedal assist levels. I have it in pedal assist number 1. We're not going to be using any throttle. I just want to see how fast this bike's going to go in each one of these pedal assist levels. If you like to ride slow, this bike is going to be the one for you, because in pedal assist number 1, you can do 8 miles an hour. Let's try number 2. Number 2 is going to have you doing 9.5 miles an hour. You felt it kick in with number 3. I'm going to go ahead and kick it up in gear. We're in our highest gear in pedal assist number 3, and we're cruising at 15 miles an hour. Number 4. When you hit 4th gear, you are going to ghost pedal, which means I can't pedal fast enough to keep up with the bike, so we're just going to slow down the cadence, let the bike take over, and we're going to cruise at 21 miles an hour. There is a big difference between 4 and 5. You are just going to rock it off to 29 miles an hour. Right now we're checking to see if the display is correct, and we have the GPS speedometer going. It's showing 20 miles an hour. The display is showing 21.4. So that means when it is saying that we're doing 29 miles an hour, we're actually doing 28. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and see how quick it takes us to get up to that 20 miles an hour, which is going to show 21 on the screen using throttle only. Let's go. It takes off nicely. Like it starts to like pick up, not immediately, but right after you take off. But then you feel it just pushing forward. And it didn't take long. You saw that, what was like 10 seconds for us to hit top speed on this bike. Now we're going to see how long it takes us to get to 29 miles an hour, actually 28, but it's going to show 29 on the display using nothing but pedal assist. I put it into gear 3. We have it in pedal assist number 5. Let's go. I feel like you crank 2 or 3 times before it fully kicks in, and then we're climbing up gear real quick. Boom. That was quick, guys. This little thing scoots. It is brake test time. We're going to do 2 of them. This one we're going to use just doing throttle only because it locks out at 20 miles an hour. And then the second one we'll do it full speed. All right, we stopped right at 20 feet by using throttle only. You know, you never know what you're going to get with these mechanical brakes, but I like the levers on this one, so it seems to be stopping pretty good. All right, brake test number 2. I have it in pedal assist number 5 so we can get all the speed that we can get out of this bike. Oh, ho, ho, ho. 27 feet. Okay, this thing, I mean, the bike is light, so it stops pretty quick. All right, let's go ahead and do the off-road portion right here. Oh, there we go. And that way I can test out how the suspension seat post is doing and these front suspension forks. And you know what? It's not doing bad. It's not doing bad at all. I feel like with these thinner tires, we're just, oh gosh, we're just shooting across. Oh, you're going to feel it though. I'm really working the suspension seat post for sure. And this whole bike just feels like it's just shaking, but it's not coming apart. Let's go ahead and jump off this thing. Ooh, there we go. Nice. Okay. It is possible to take this bike off road, but it is gonna shake and it's gonna shake and bake you. You're gonna be shaking around. It is time for the hill climb. First, we're gonna do throttle only. We got 52 volts, 75 Newton meters of torque. Let's go. Let's see how this thing does. Oh my gosh, I feel like we're gonna have no problem at all making it up this hill. And we are not. We're still in double digits. We're still doing 10 miles an hour up this thing, 11 miles an hour. Boom. This thing's a little climber, little hill climber. Now we're going to do it using pedal assist only. Let me go ahead and put it into pedal assist number 5. There we go. Gear 3. And let's see how easy it's going to be. All right, so we did 2 full rotations before it kicked in. And now we're just moving up this hill like it is nothing. I heard somebody on my channel call this the hill of pain, but it isn't for this bike. This bike just shredded it. That's nice. It's always nice when a budget bike can do really well. Let's go ahead and do the sand test. Now, this sand is more packed down than it is at the lake. I just don't think I have enough battery power that's going to take me all the way out there and back. So let's go ahead and try this out. We're going to do pedal assist, or actually we're going to use throttle only at first, and then if we need to pedal, we'll pedal. I have it in number 5. Let's go. Ooh, we're sliding around. I mean, we're making it through. Whoa. Yeah. She's got a lot of torque. We're just moving around. Yeah, this thing's just scooting. All right, the sand is a little bit deeper than what I thought, so that's good. And even if you pedal it, well, you're just gonna launch through it. Oh, these people are probably gonna get mad after they already made it look nice. But come on, we're doing testing here. This is science. Yeah, that sand was a little bit deeper than what I thought, which is good. Good sand test. All right, guys, well, it'll get you to the beach. It'll also get you through the beach. The ruts that I was making, so yeah, this sand's pretty loose. Good job, Engwe. When it comes to my initial thoughts about this bike, well, number 1, it scoots. I got to go ahead and put it down into a lower mode. Whenever you have it in pedal assist number 5, this thing is just going to fly. And it is a big difference between 4 and 5. It's like goes from 23 to 20, 29, or well, 28. I do like the grips on this bike. I figured I would. Anytime that they have grips with a palm rest, it always turns out pretty nice. Now, I hope when you're wanting to ride in these higher pedal assist levels, well, you're not going to be able to pedal it because it does ghost pedal pretty early on. But for some people, that's not too big of a deal. When it comes to this seat and suspension seat post, I tell you what, it does feel nice, and you can definitely tell. It's a nice feature to have added onto the bike. But it does stick a little bit, and maybe by the end of this review, it just needs to break in, and by the end of the review, it'll be acting really well, but we'll find out here pretty soon. But I think overall, I mean, for this bike to be at the price point that it is, it feels pretty spunky. It really does. So that's not a bad thing at all. I do always get bummed out on how on how a lot of mechanical brakes, how they always squeak and make noise, even though you've already bedded them. It is a good thing that we've knocked out all the testing that needs to be done and that we're just doing the battery distance part of this review, because we're already down to 3 bars, and I don't know if we're going to have enough to make it to Lakeshore Trail. Even if we did, we wouldn't have enough power to do the sand test and make it back. So I'm just pretty happy that we were able to knock those things out before we headed out to see how far we can go. Now, my comfort level is pedal assist number 4, gear 7. We're going to cruise at 21 miles an hour. And even though, like, if I tried to pedal fast enough to keep the bike engaged and not ghost pedaling, well, this feels pretty comfortable. So this is how we're going to be riding as long as we can. We are heading into downtown right now, and this is one of the bike lanes that they built to make things safer for bicyclists to get to work and commute around and stuff like that. Now, speaking of safe, well, I added this half knee bar and mirror on the side here so I can see behind me. And I added this Seco light up here in front because it strobes. And things like that just make it important so you can ride around safely throughout the city. We have just made it into downtown part of Chicago, and we have 2 bars. What am I doing to myself? I definitely need to turn around. I was going to try to do a loop, but I don't think that is going to be a possibility. In case you haven't seen what downtown Chicago looks like, well, this is it from a biker's perspective. The goal is we're going to head back the way that we came, and that should hopefully just give us enough mileage to get this thing done, but also make it back. This is the Chicago River, and it looks like we have either a water taxi coming here or the Chicago Water Architectural Tour, which happens to be the best tourist attraction here in Chicago. I've done it twice, and I live here. So if you ever come to Chicago and you're wanting to know what to do as a tourist attraction, well, doing the Water Architectural Tour is by far the best thing. We are already down to 1 battery indicator on the bar right here, and we are 15 miles into this trip. So this is definitely not a long distance type of bike. We'll be lucky to get 20 miles out of it. And I hope that we do, because I think that's where we'll be for me to make it home. I went ahead and kicked it down into pedal assist number 3 because I am too far from home, and I want to try to get a little bit more mileage out of this bike. But I've been riding the whole time in pedal assist number 4, and you know, that 21 mile an hour speed, it was totally comfortable. I mean, that was good. Good thing I didn't keep this bike in pedal assist number 5 for a long time, which is what I often do, but luckily I didn't do it this time. Even at 14 miles an hour, it's still better than riding around in that slow traffic. Oh, these brakes, squeaky, squeaky. We have made it back onto the 606 trail. I'm probably about 2.5 miles from the house. So we went ahead and put it back into pedal assist number 4. At least this way I feel a little bit better since I am closer to the house. Now, with the level of ghost pedaling that this bike has, you're not going to get a lot of exercise riding this bike. This is one of those bikes where you just use it to get to where you need to go. Now, of course, my legs are moving, but I'm not putting any pressure on these pedals, so I'm not helping this bike at all besides moving my legs. This is going to be one of those bikes that when it hits the bottom battery, when it shows that it only has 1 left, that it takes a long time for it to disappear, because we're already here at the end of the 606 trail and we still have power. So we're going to head back onto the trail, go a mile out, mile back, and see how long it's going to take till we can drain this battery. Now, with this battery level low, we're still rocking 21 miles an hour via the screen on using throttle only. Let's go ahead and see if we can get 29 miles an hour out of it as well. With the battery being low, we're still doing 27 miles an hour, which is actually 26. That's still moving out pretty good. It'll be interesting to see what happens when that bar disappears. I have to tell you, I am surprised on how far this bike is making it. I should have just kept it in pedal assist number 4 when I was in town, when I was afraid that it wasn't going to make it. But, you know, you never know. And that's what the whole point of these reviews are for. So I'll go ahead and knock this out so you can figure out, if you buy this bike, on how far you can go or how it's going to perform when it gets to low battery levels. Okay, we're about a good 2.5 miles away from the house. We're going to turn around. Actually, this is where I hopped onto the 606 when we were coming from in town. So I figured we'll just make it out here again, Do it one more time, see what happens. I really do like the location of this bell. I keep one finger on the brake, the other one on the bell. That way I can ding it whenever I need to, and I'm not reaching around looking for it. I just constantly ride around with it on there. The display is showing that we're 22.2 miles into this ride, and I can tell you that the seat is definitely letting me know that it is time to get off this bike. So I am hoping that we run out of battery soon. It has finally hit the part where the bar has gone away. The battery indicator is flashing. We're going to turn around and head back. I am now 3 miles from the house. This thing has been taking forever to die. Well, it's not dead yet. We're going to see if it's going to give me enough power to make it all the way back while fighting into the wind. I was concerned that I wasn't even going to make it 20 miles. And now we're at 26.5, and it just now got to the point to where the battery is flashing. Who knows how much farther this bike will go? I definitely underestimated the range on this bike. This battery is flashing, and it has not taken away any of the power from the bike. We're still doing 21 miles an hour in pedal assist number 4. This battery is flashing, and I want to see if it's still going to give us the 21 miles an hour via throttle. And really, it's, even though it's flashing, it's still giving it to us. Let's go ahead and put it into pedal assist 5 and see if we can get that 29 miles an hour out of it. Looks like 25 is going to be the max when the battery is flashing. Also super impressive. I haven't had any pulsing or anything like that with this bike. I definitely underestimated the range. We have hit 30 miles on the display, and this bike is just now starting to slow down. Normally in pedal assist 4, we're cruising at 21 miles an hour, and right now we're doing 14. But it took 30 miles to make it do that. I have made it back, and I have to tell you, I severely underestimated the range on this bike. I really have. Because once it gets down to that final bar, like it's going to burn through the first 4 bars relatively quick. But once it gets down to that last one, it's going to hold on forever. And I mean, really, when I took a look at the display, we went 31.7 miles. That felt like it went a long distance, a lot farther than what I thought it was going to go, because if you, in the video, I was not thinking we were going to make 20 miles. Now, Strava showed that we went 30.38 miles. Considering that the speedometer is off 1 mile, well, I'm going to say that Strava is correct on the 30.38, even though this showed 31.7. Not that big of a deal on the distance. I mean, it's off by 1 mile, and it's off by 1 mile per hour. So it kind of makes sense that that's how it would be. Now, when it came to the hill climbing and going through the sand, this little budget bike is a beast. I was pretty surprised on how that happened. Pleasantly surprised, of course. One thing I wasn't pleasantly surprised about was how this seat felt on my bum. It was by 20 miles in, I was ready to get off of it, and I had to go another 10 miles with this seat. But that's a personal preference type of thing. It might be fine for you, but it wasn't for me. But it's a super simple fix. It's like you can get a new seat for like 30 or 40 bucks, no big deal. I mean, if you like the one that you have, or if you like the one that comes with the bike, well, you'll be totally fine. If not, easy breezy, simple switch out, no big deal. Besides that, I was impressed with everything else about this bike, especially the mileage. Now, if you are interested in the Engwe L20 2.0, I'm going to leave a link down in the description below. If I have a discount code, I'll put it down there as well, and that'll take you exactly where you need to be. If you are looking for a budget e-bike, well, this might be the one for you. It was surprising. It goes a long distance, and that is more than actually what I thought I would get out of this bike, so yay for it. So I want to thank you for watching, because that's my review. That's it. That's all I have for the Engwe L20 2.0. This tire keeps turning, so we're just going to put that right there. And I want to thank you for watching. So until I see you again, enjoy the ride.